Hello and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me in another of my monologues. Today I want to follow on from the one I was talking about the other day, and let me just apologize for the lack of consistency in getting videos out at the moment. I'm still struggling a little bit with this strange body seizure. It is a little bit as if I've been possessed by a great big eagle that's squeezing my muscles together, but I'm slowly and surely, excuse me, scratching my eye, getting better. So that's the main thing. Last time I was talking about where is God, and when you suffer, you start to think about these sort of very important, deep questions which I imagine that most of us have when we're relatively young. I remember thinking about this sort of thing when I was sort of, I suppose, 18, something like that, between 16 and 18. Who am I? What am I? Am I really this, just flesh and blood? Is there something more? And then, of course, we get distracted, don't we, by life, the universe and everything, the need to find a job. We get interested in members of the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever, looking for partners. We get involved in hobbies and, of course, work. And then if you have a family, you get involved in being in charge of the family or part of the family and guiding the family and, all the stuff that we're all encouraged to do. And, of course, this modern world has dished up a very strange type of life that we all accept as normal. Going to work, making the economy richer, working harder than the generation before or longer than the generation, and yet we have all the magic equipment to supposedly make work simpler. But it does seem to be that every bit of help with the work that one does in the terms of technical help, it seems to actually make us have to work far longer than we ever did before. And look at us now with both parents going to work. Anyway, I didn't really want to get onto a commentary of the social status that we are in, but we get distracted, is what I'm saying, from some of the most important questions. Now, of course, some people look at things like who we are and what we are and where is God from a very religious point of view. And I'm not trying to say to anybody that they should not do that or criticize how they see and interpret God, the Creator, the universe, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. And there'll be some people who will say, well, there's none of that. It doesn't exist at all. It's complete and utter poppycock. Now, thanks to people reaching out to me in the last day or so, somebody sent me a video which was very interesting about the Ethiopian Bible. And I was aware of the Ethiopian Bible, but I haven't got a copy. I've not read it. I don't know what it contains. It's supposedly written well in advance of the current Bible, that many of the books in there were removed from the Bible, and that the teachings or the passages are not about creating a religion and having to go through priests to reach God, but actually more a different reporting, I understand, of what Jesus, for the sake of giving a character a name, was teaching. And one of the things I suppose that I was learning from watching a video that somebody sent me about the Ethiopian Bible is, rather than Jesus looking for followers and to have a religion and churches and a hierarchy and therefore an authority of men, he, according to the video I was watching, or two different videos actually, in the Ethiopian Bible is saying, no, the kingdom of heaven is within, that this God power is you and it is in you, and you just need to be aware of it. And of course, it's a lot more involved than that. And this, of course, resonates with what I was saying before, that I don't believe that any God is a separate thing from us, that it is part of us. And as I explained in the video the other day, if you sit and meditate and become aware of what you are, you realize that actually you are just an awareness. You are not just a flesh and blood body. That's not it. You're not the thoughts and the emotions that are attached to that body. You're not the ego, but you are beyond that. You are something, a soul, I suppose, that is aware of its connection to everything. That there is only this one moment, there is only now, there is only you. And so this other video I was watching was sort of almost saying the same thing, that the kingdom of heaven and what have you is within you, and that you can go through life being aware of this. So here is where all of this may well be very, all well and good. When you're suffering, whatever that might be, it might be physical pain, emotional pain, it might be problems with society at large, or problems within the family, or financial problems. It could be all sorts of different things. And when you're suffering under those conditions, and you're going, okay, I accept that there is this energy, this life force, this power that's deep within me, how then do you make a practical application? Because although I feel that this world is somewhat illusionary, this physical world that we see in front of us, that is somewhat illusionary, because you can step back and go, what, it's not me, it's not actually connected to me, it is a strange creation. How then, there must be a way, excuse me, there must be a way to influence this and make one's time in this body, in this 3D world, worthwhile and not a complete waste. And I would say that we have been distracted by those who are men and women who are aware that we have this power within us, and they certainly don't want to share that, because if we knew that if we truly knew that we were effectively part of God, so in other words, if you imagine a cable of fiber optic cables, you've got thousands of fiber optic individual cables, but one light source shines through them all. And that light source presumably would be, in the analogy, would be the source of God. Only we are a small droplet from that sort of consciousness of God. And if that has a benefit to us to get through this 3D world in a much more holistic, beneficial, loving, caring way, that we learn stuff, then how do we take that power? How do we take that power back? Because we're in this world, as I say, where men, women have decided to keep us distracted from our inner world and keep us on an outer world. The Church of England and other organised religions are saying, well, God's over here, and to get to him you have to go through our priests and our bishops and our prelates and our vicars and all these tiers of authority, which makes complete nonsense to me, other than this is a power system. We're also distracted from looking in for happiness, contentment, and love, because we are constantly told that all these trinkets that are being advertised all the time, dangling, all this upgrade to this latest phone, upgrade to this, get on the digital path, be, digital whatever, buy this product. This is where happiness lays. And I don't believe that at all. And we all have done a little bit of that, haven't we? We've all upgraded. We've all tried to keep up with the Joneses, only to find ourselves, well, I'm not actually very happy. I bought all these material things and they haven't given me any happiness, and just upgrading to a new phone is not really going to cut it. There is something missing. And all the time we're distracted to think it's over there, but it's clearly within. But the question, I suppose, is, well, as I said just now, that's all very well and good, and it's great to be able to look in and go, yeah, this is great. But if you're in pain, whichever kind of pain it is, or you're in trouble, or you're in need, or you need support, whatever it is, and just sitting there going, I am God. God is shining through me. How, I suppose here's the question I want to put to you, because you're far more intelligent than I am. How do you make a practical application of that to improve your life and the life of others? Answers on a postcard. We don't promise to be able to return them. If you have any thoughts on that, it would be very interesting. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. If you're interested in buying the book, Biggleswick, the town that wouldn't comply, within that story, many of the characters are looking at where does authority come from. And this authority, this universe, the creator, God, if you like, is clearly above government, clearly above man, clearly above corporations. And in the book and in the story, within the story, they're looking to see how that authority can trump an authority that wishes to stamp them down and keep them low and low vibrational. If you're interested in the book, just email me, richard@vobes.com, and I will send you an email on how you can purchase the book. I still have a few boxes left, so it would be great if people were interested. Till next time, goodbye.